Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we're smoking a little bit of vanilla haze, I believe it is. Let me just check here real quick. Vanilla haze. It's a sativa 70-30, a hybrid that leans more towards a sativa at a 70 to 30%. The lineage is blueberry and super silver haze. THC 22%. I gotta say, it is a nice little sativa. And on top of that, I don't know if you've been following along on Instagram or Twitter, but we have some big news over here at Thoughts Off the Stem, baby. I got a new dab rig from the guys at I Sell Glass. It's pretty awesome. I'll tell you what. I've been testing it out. I tried to do a podcast with after I did my first dab, and that was kind of pointless. It was a bunch of rambling into nothing. And dabs are awesome. So aside from smoking that little bong hit at the beginning, I'm going to do a dab in the middle of the episode and tell you basically what I'm doing. But let me tell you, man, dabs are delicious. If you haven't done a dab, I suggest you try it. I suggest you don't do a lot because it is very potent. Other than that, I cracked a beer, or I'm cracking a beer. So you should crack a beer too. Smoke a bong, roll a joint, do something fun. Because this is the dab edition, where I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about, but we'll see what happens, especially once I do this dab. Because the one that I saved for this episode, because I did want to do a couple and then do an episode on a dab, is a pretty big dab. So it should be pretty fun in a few minutes here. So first of all, cheers. And yeah, aside from the dabs, there's I've been doing some stuff. I've been working on some stuff to change up my setup to try and keep myself, I don't know, intrigued? No, that's not the word. Try to keep myself, invested in this whole podcast thing. I don't know. It's been pretty fun, so I figured I'd fun it up a little bit more. I moved around the table that I sit at so that it's more podcast friendly, because I'm thinking that this year, even though I'm only halfway through the first season, a buddy of mine and I are going to sit down and have a few podcasts together, see how that goes. Get a second voice in on this bad boy. I think it'll be fun. He knows his weed too, so that should be exciting. Hopefully I'll talk to, a couple other people. I don't really have a plan. I never really do. And I figure it's just best that way, to sit down and, just have a discussion about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Like when I talked about monkeys and having a pet gorilla last time. You should listen to that. It was pretty funny. But yeah, so that's going to happen. I put up a little Canadian flag pot leaf banner. I'm pretty happy about that. And if you want to see any of the stuff that I'm talking about, you can see it on Instagram, because it's Bowl Time Baby videos on there. And I don't know. I think they're fun. People seem to like them. So I hope they keep liking them. And if you haven't seen them yet, you should check them out. And then on top of that, I'm drinking a little whiskey to go with my beer. That's right. Not whiskey. Sorry. Scotch. And it is McClelland's Scottish Scotch. So that's fun, because that always gets me a little bit loopy, a little loose-lipped, talking about some bullshit. Hope everybody had, a good Christmas and a happy New Year. I hope you guys aren't letting 2021 get you down with all the lockdowns and such. Jesus Christ. Especially with Ontario, what's going on now. I don't know. If you don't live in Canada, you won't know. But in Canada, Ontario has decided to lock down. I believe it's very similar to California in the States, where we have now decided that there's potentially going to be a curfew. We don't know. I don't know. We find out on a Tuesday. So that should be excellent. I'm going to try and talk about all this stuff on this, because it's supposed to be more fun. But I'm just saying, it was, it's not, I think we got to start looking at maybe some other avenues to get this thing going again, Because as much fun as it is hanging out inside, I'd like to go outside. That'd be fun. I don't know about you. I like to travel. Yeah, I don't travel much anyway, but I would like to travel. That'd be nice. So with these dabs, I got my first sort of, I guess my first taste and my first introduction to live resin. I don't know if you've ever smoked this, but I think what ends up happening, because when you're doing a dab, right, you don't use the same kind of bowl that you use for your bong. If you've done dabs, you know this. If you haven't done dabs, you may not know this. But you can hook up a dab, what do they call it? A banger or a nail maybe? And it's like a bowl, but it's for resin, so that you can heat it up with a torch, with a cooking torch, the kind of torch that you brown the top of creme brulee with. So you got to use that to heat the bowl up. You can't just use like a lighter with a flame. No, you need a butane torch to do this. So you heat up the bowl, you put the resin in, and then I think basically what happens, but I could be wrong. So if you know, and I don't, let me know. But basically what happens, I think, is that you're vaporizing the weed. So it's a lot better for the THC and the terps and all that stuff. So apparently, I think, I don't know for sure, I think it might be a little bit better for you than burning, like, smoking burnt flour. But either way, what I could say is I like both. I like the bong. I like the thing. I like the dab rig. Dabs are pretty awesome. It's very little amount that will get you nice and toasty. As I did my first dab, I found out as I smoked it that, well, yeah, I'm gonna be fucked for a while. I quote myself on that saying that. But yeah, dabs are pretty awesome, man. It's like smoking candy. They taste fucking delicious. It's really nice. I was actually really surprised because I didn't really know what to expect. I had a buddy of mine told me that when he did dabs, he did shatter, and it was like your brain gets turned off for like the whole day. Like you can't think. You're just kind of like a walking zombie. You can do shit, but just not very effectively. So I was a little bit worried because I didn't want to shut my brain off, but I wanted to enjoy this new style of smoking and see what it was all about. So instead of going with, I'm almost certain, I don't know for sure, but I'm almost certain that he was smoking some kind of indica, which is already, as a dried flower, is already hot enough. Or I mean, hot enough. Fuck me, man. It's just already, makes you sleepy enough and like puts you out, takes you over physically and makes you exhausted. So with a dab, I can imagine that now after having smoked one. But just in case that were to happen, what I did was I bought a sativa live resin so that if I did get too high, at least I'd still be functional, and hopefully it would mitigate the flaking out or Jesus Christ, man. I smoked a bowl. This is like what it's like off the resin shit, man. It's even worse. So that should be fun in a little bit. But yeah, it's like the live resin basically kind of, as he said, it does shut your brain down for a second. So I figured with a sativa, there would be less of that. At least I would still be functional. Maybe I wouldn't be able to think too hard, but I hoped it wouldn't affect me as negatively as he said it would. So, and also apparently the way he smoked it was very different than the rig that I have. So the one he had, you have to heat up like a little dab tool, a nail that you put into the rig. You heat that up and then you pick up the dab and then you do it, I think. And then that's how he did it. So it was very different. And there were like metal parts and it was like a whole big thing. This is one nice glass piece that's like, I don't know, maybe 8 inches high at the most, 6 to 8 inches high. It's a recycler, so it shoots bubbles all over the place, and then it makes a little tornado at the top, so it looks pretty cool. But the bowl for it is glass, or the banger, or the nail, I guess, that you call it, is glass, not metal like the one my buddy was talking about. So I don't know if it's different or if it's just like evolved into be like a cleaner looking type of setup or what, but I did not find that. I found that, yeah, I got really high off a very tiny amount of marijuana, but my brain didn't shut off. And the stuff that I have, this sativa stuff, is a bit of a creeper. So it takes like a good, well, let's put it this way. I'll do the dab, and then it's about like I'll have a smoke after I do the dab, And about 10 minutes in, it settles in. So it's a bit of a creeper. It's about a 10-minute wait before you actually get like boom. But once it kicks in, holy guacamole. It's as I put it, as I had told my buddy, I said, like, dude, this is like the perfect video game weed. If you just want to bake out and then do nothing and not think and not have to do very much of anything but just be entertained, that's the shit, man. You smoke a dab or two, one will do you. Like, you don't need more than one. And you don't need, like I said, you don't need very much. But and if you look, like I said, if you watch the Instagram video, I show you how much I do, and it's not a lot. But I was high for like a good 4 hours, solid. And I don't mean like I was out of control high and I couldn't handle myself. But like, for example, okay, so I smoked my first dab. I think it was like maybe like mid-afternoon, and it wasn't overly large. It was because I wasn't sure what to expect. So I smoked like a little, well, a medium size for what I think anyway. I'm pretty used to smoking weed. But I smoked a medium sized dab. And then I was high for like 4 hours, man. Like 4 hours solid. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm high and things are going all shitty or weird or like I can't stop it. It was like a really good high. Because if you were doing something, and this is probably because of the sativa, but if I was doing something, I didn't feel high. The second I sat down and started to relax, I was like, oh yeah, I'm high. It was like I forgot. It was almost like having an edible or something like that. Like where, you don't, because you don't put, there's a lot that goes into it, but because you're not smoking it for like an excessive amount of time, it's a really quick, like, okay, in and out, then yeah, you almost forget that you're high. And because it's clean, it's also a very clean smoke. Like, you could take a really big haul off this thing. You can fill that whole rig full of smoke and take the whole thing. Because like I said before, it tastes like fucking candy, man. It tastes fucking delicious. Whatever the plant is supposed to taste like, I didn't know plants could taste like this. This shit was phenomenal. It tasted like berries. It tasted like fruit. It tasted like vegetables. It tasted like everything. It was so good. And yeah, I couldn't believe I wasn't doing dabs more. The only thing that dabs is more like, to me anyway, is more like a special occasion kind of thing. Like, doing them all the time is a big process because you got to heat it up with a torch. You got to heat it up for like 30 seconds. You got to wait about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what type of bowl you have and how thick the glass is or the metal, whatever. And then you can smoke it. But then you don't want to smoke for a while. So, to me, it's like, it's something you break out at a party and you go, hey, check this shit out. And you get everybody into doing it. You do it when you have something to celebrate. You do it periodically. Not every day, not all the time. Like, I could smoke a joint any time of day, all the time, doesn't matter, right? Same with a bong. I take a hit from a bong, cool, let's go, let's move on. But with a dab, and it's not that you get too high, it's just that it feels like one of those things that is more celebratory than anything else. It's like, yeah, you had a good day, so do a dab. And then you do a dab when you get home. You had a bad day, do a dab. I'm just saying, it just feels that way. It's like science with weed. So it's got more to it, but it's got, I don't know. It's just got a whole different feel to it, man. It's exciting. It's fun. It's all like, it's like candy. It's like if you buy your resin, it's like oh yeah, I just went to the candy store and now I can't wait to try a little piece of this candy. You know what I mean? Like when you get your Skittles and you take that first couple Skittles, you pick the ones you want because you've been wanting to buy those Skittles for a long time. It's like this shit, man. I feel like the same way about dabs. Now that I've talked about it, let's do this dab. I'll sort of talk you through what I'm doing here. So I have a dab rig that is a recycler, which means that it does all kinds of funky cool shit with water and smoke, and then it drains and fills and does all kinds of cool shit. Again, my IG channel, my Instagram channel, Thoughts Off the Stem on IGTV, you can check that out, and it shows you the first hit that I took with this dab rig that I got from at ISL Glass, and it's fucking awesome. And yes, this time, if you do go to ISL Glass, if you pick up a rig and you use the promo code TOTS420, that's a capital T, capital O, capital T, capital S, 420, then you'll save 20%, and I'll get a little kickback, which would be awesome. So this is the first time I'm actually hawking something. But I can tell you, man, after having used this, having this, I love this thing. So check out my IG channel for that. Now, let's do this dab. So we got our dab rig, we got our torch. Now, this is what the torch sounds like. It makes you feel very manly when you're smoking weed, because you're basically using a flamethrower to smoke weed with, which is awesome. Who doesn't love using a flamethrower? So I'm turning it on. This is the torch. Turning it on. Hear that? Okay, and flame. So I got the flame going for the torch. I got the dab rig going. I'm going to heat up the dab rig underneath where the banger or the nail is, whatever you want to call it. I'm heating the bottom for like about 30 seconds, or until the whole thing gets a little red. Now, you should use a timer from all the videos that I've watched, but I don't have time for that shit. Plus, I'm also using my phone to record this podcast, so I don't really have an extra timer lying around. So I'm just going to kind of count it out. Now, what I do is I watch for the rim of the glass that I'm heating to get hot and turn a little bit red. And once it turns a little bit red, then I know I can add my dab. Haha, which is fucking sweet. So I'm just about there, because the whole rim is turning red, red, red. It's getting hot on my face, and I'm holding it probably like a good 6 inches away. So we know we're cooking this thing. Okay, we're good. So that was over 30 seconds. But now what I'm going to do is I've got my dab on my little dabber tool. I'm going to let the bowl cool for like 10 seconds or so. And then maybe you guys will get to hear this. I'm not too sure. But this is the dab. Here we go. That was a really big hit. Like I said, and the bong is still full. It kept filling up with smoke that whole time. That's how big that hit was. I'm going to be fucked after this. I know it sounds like that was really harsh on my lungs. It's not. I was trying not to make you guys wait forever for me to smoke this thing and then start talking again. So I took some really, really big hits. And yeah, I'm telling you, this shit tastes so fucking good. Like, if you're a big fan of candy or flavor, then start doing dabs, because that's the way to go, man. I'm telling you, that stuff tastes great. Now, one of the things is, though, that the nail or the bowl that you're using, you got to clean it out a lot. So you got to keep, like, Q-tips and shit handy, so that when you're done doing your dab, you can swab out the bowl so that it doesn't get all dirty and burnt up and stuff. Oh, man. That was a huge dab. But I think that's the first time that I actually did the whole thing right, because it wasn't too hot. when I did it the first time, when I smoked my first dab, I definitely didn't let it cool enough. I think I heated up the bowl at the perfect temperature. I think I waited long enough for it to cool down. Because, like, when I did my first dab, I definitely, when I smoked when I got that first hit, that smoke was pretty hot. And it pretty it really did up my lungs pretty good. But while I was smoking that thing, the reason I'm coughing now, when I was smoking that one, I filled that bowl probably, I think it was 3 times, completely full, white smoke. Completely full. I'm telling you, this is a full, like, 6 to 8 inch dab rig. Okay, and it's a little bubbler. It's like, it's got a ball within a ball that fills up with smoke. Anyway, point being that I was able to fill that thing up with that dab that I just took 3 times, completely full of smoke so that it looked white. And then a 4th time with about half the amount of smoke in it. And I can tell you in about 10 minutes from now, I am going to be on the fucking moon. Especially after having that bowl, that first bong hit. Okay. So if you wonder what it's like to take a dab, it's like doing science with weed. Especially with all the cool shit that you can get for it. Like, okay, let's put it this way. You have to use a cooking torch to heat the bowl. Not just a lighter, a cooking torch, a butane cooking torch. You don't actually heat the concentrate that goes into the bowl. So you're basically putting like a little, thing into a petri dish and seeing how it reacts to flame. Okay? Then when you smoke it, not only do you get that cool aspect of this whole shit, you also get the fact that the rigs and the bongs that you use to smoke it are designed to be cool as fuck, man. They recycle water from one part to another so that as you smoke it, one area of the bong drains the water out and around through a loop into another part and then pulls water and smoke up through a through a third part that turns the smoke into a little cyclone that happens just before it leaves the bong into your face hole. Like, this whole thing is fucking awesome science, man. And people are telling me weed heads or potheads, whatever, stoners, are just lazy. Fuck that shit. You know what had to go into making this tiny little piece? So much. You had to know exactly, I'm telling you, man, you had to know exactly where to put every little exhale hole. It would be so easy to fuck up. I couldn't make that. And then trying to fill it up was a totally different story, because I can guarantee you the first time I tried the dab, I did not fill the rig up with enough water. So it was fine. It still tasted really good and everything, but it wasn't doing the recycler part of the bong. Right? So the water wasn't flowing from one chamber to another chamber and then back in, and the smoke wasn't doing, it was pulling, but the smoke wasn't doing like this tornado thing. So I had to figure out how to load the water properly with it to make everything work properly, which means that all the air holes and all the different exchanges had to be like done precisely to make it work properly, because it's got perk holes at the bottom. It's got a recycler tube on the side that recycles from an outer like reservoir into a central bowl essentially, and then the smoke goes up and around the external chamber into a top chamber, and then also funnels back into the little bowl in the middle. I don't know, man. It's fucking cool as shit. That's all I can tell you. Dabs are awesome, and the tools that that you can use to do these things are so awesome. I love that weed is legal in Canada. I really hope that the entire U.S. gets legalized, decriminalized, whatever, man, federally legalized. That would be great. I don't know. Weed's just really cool. It makes people want to try and do different shit, or laugh, or just go have a nap. You know, it's not really that big a deal. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw a guy who would smoke weed and then just like passed out in the middle of the street. I have seen crackheads smoke crack and pass out in the middle of the street. But like, you know, yeah, man, these dabs are pretty awesome. I was very excited to get it. I got the rig from the guys at I Sell Glass. I'll put a link in the description of the episode. And if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or when you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you can always check out my bio, which has a link tree that has a link to these guys too. And like I said, if you use code TOTS420, TOTS all capitals, at checkout, then you'll save about, I think it's 20%. You save 20% on one of these rigs or any of the accessories they have. They have all kinds of stuff, and the price ranges are reasonable. Yeah, and they have really cool shit too. That's what I think. That's what I'm saying. So the dab rig came. I got my little dab tool. I'm getting a new banger or bowl and some terp balls and a carb cap to go as a set. And that one, the terp balls are supposed to, I guess, help keep the concentrate hot as you smoke it. And then the carb cap, because I used a shot glass because I'm too excited to try this shit. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I didn't wait, because I am fucking high. Cheers to that. I have a little scotch here. Cheers. But the carb cap apparently is way better to use, because it's designed to fit the bowl and everything, and some of them are really cool. Again, these are all awesome handmade glass pieces. Like, I love shit like that. I don't know about you, but I love shit like that. Anything that's handmade, that looks awesome and does different shit, I'm down for that. Absolutely. Especially when you're smoking. Because let's be honest, when you're high, you can analyze any fucking thing you want. It doesn't matter what it is. And you can also be entertained for hours on end by simple shit. Like, have you ever got high and then just sat and stared at a fish tank for like hours? Because I have. If you haven't done that, you need to do that. If you live in Toronto or near Toronto, you need to go to Ripley's Aquarium, downtown Toronto. I mean, obviously when you can, not now, don't go now, but when you can, and get fucking high. You ever been to an IMAX movie high? I went to an IMAX movie high first time I'd ever been to an IMAX movie. I was in my 20s, I think. Maybe my 20s. I was in my 20s. And they were shooting lasers out of the screen, and I dodged the fucking laser. Okay? Because I was high, because I smoked a bowl before. I'm just saying. Like, weed is one of those things that it enhances in a positive way the experience that you're having. Yes, you probably shouldn't, like, I see where there could be an addiction, and I can also see where certain people could use it all the time and be fine, and other people can't. But I think that at the same time, I don't necessarily believe... No, I know I don't. Not necessarily. I know that I don't believe that if you smoke weed every day, that's not a problem. At least as far as I'm concerned. And if you've got these dab rigs and shit, it seems like it's a way cleaner smoke. It's obviously more pure because you're getting just the THC and no flower, and I'm guessing less carcinogens because of the way that you're burning it. Again, I'm guessing. I don't know. So don't hold me to it. But fuck, yeah, I really highly suggest that you try dab rigs. I know that I talk about a lot of shit on here, and I don't really say anything negative about anything. But, like, there's always a positive, right? But I'm not saying that about these guys. This stuff is awesome. There is no downside to any of this shit. It's a beautiful looking piece. It looks good. You could leave it out on your table and people will be like, wow. Even if they weren't into smoking weed, you could leave it out. Now, me on the other hand, at the age that I've got, everybody pretty much knows that I smoke weed and I don't hide it anymore. Hello, podcast. But there's no reason to. Now that it's legal, what's the fucking point? You know, if I was working a job, I wouldn't go to the job high or anything like that. But in my time, my recreational time, my own time, I get to smoke weed. That's what I do. I know that's why you like it. I know that's why I like it. I know that's why a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people say they use it recreationally, but they're definitely getting medical benefits from it. And I know that a lot of medical people say they only use it medically, but they're also getting the recreational benefits of it too. I mean, it's a great fucking plant. It's an awesome thing to smoke. It enhances as far as I'm concerned, it can enhance everything if you use it in moderation and in the right way. If you use it with the wrong intent, then obviously it's going to be what it is. It's going to be shitty. But if you use it with the right intent and allow it to do its thing, man, it can definitely enhance your life, I think. Yeah. Anyway, that's the dab episode of Thoughts Off the Stem, and that's my thought off the stem for the week. Week. I hope you join me, Justin Barone, every Friday at 4:20 on Anchor, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And check out the merch store, teespring.com/stores/TOTS420. And check out the Weed Sommelier hoodies, t-shirts, it's bowl time baby t-shirts, tots t-shirts, tots with Thoughts Off the Stem written underneath it, t-shirts. There's all kinds of fun stuff there. My Buds t-shirts, those are funny. Check them out. And until next time, keep your lids low. Roll your joints, smoke your bongs, do your dabs, baby. Whatever you got to do, and just have a good one.